over the last months I've been getting lots of requests in different forms to do a video about the calisthenics programming. Because there's clearly demand for this type of content and bodyweight training seems to be really far behind when it comes to these topics, I thought it's a great idea. But if I had decided to take it up, I would have had to do it very precisely and really cover all the aspects of programming. Long story short, I accepted the challenge. When I realized how wide the actual topic is, even for beginners and intermediates, instead of one video, I decided to do 5+ videos and wrap them up in some kind of series. Thanks to some people who, of course, I'm gonna be mentioning, I borrowed some information from the powerlifting and gymnastics world and applied that to calisthenics. At the very end of this series, I decided to do a little walkthrough of me making the full example program focused on bodyweight goals. And in the description of that video I'm gonna provide you with the PDF file of this program, so you can either modify it or use it if you want. Alright, so I think enough was said really. Let's start with the very first and simple goal setting. Enjoy! Today we're gonna focus on goal setting. While it may sound trivial and obvious, it is the most important step. To even begin talking about all the variabilities, progressions, exercise selection or periodization, you gotta know what you want to achieve with your training. And better be sure about it, because training is a long-run hobby. It takes lots of time and dedication to achieve desired skills. So make sure all the effort that you put in is taking you where you want to be. Now, I cannot tell you what is your goal. It comes from your ambition and is probably the reason you even clicked this video. What I can do is help you formulate this goal properly and modify it if necessary. Some of the more general goals you see in calisthenics are appearance and performance. Now, I'm not trying to split them goals no matter what or say that you cannot chase both. However, I want to mention that for the sake of this series, we're gonna focus mostly on upper body, bodyweight skills. The appearance of physique is highly dictated by our genetics, but apart from that, it's basically the result of muscle mass and body fat level. Since the number one factor of weight loss is the calorie deficit, which is mostly related to our diet, the main function of strength training should be maintaining as much muscle mass as possible. In short, training for appearance is basically training for muscle building, aka hypertrophy. And while it's a very general goal, you don't have to be more specific in this case. It's totally opposite when it comes to the skill training. Considering the fact that strength is a very specific ability referring to the certain position and joint angle, it needs much more specified and individualized approach. If you add all the other variabilities like balance, technique, mobility, it's getting even more crucial. That's why for most optimal gains, I like to choose 1 up to 2 strength-oriented goals. I'm not saying you can't work on more things at once. Just be honest with yourself and admit that working on multiple goals will take you that much more time to get them, usually unproportionally more than if you focused on just one. If you choose 2 upper body goals, make sure one of them is push and the other pull. It's gonna make the programming easier as they won't interfere with each other that much. Some of the examples of well-working combinations are one-arm chin-up and handstand push-up, or front lever and planche. Due to complexity, some of the skills are harder to classify and put the exact label on. My recommendation is not to overcomplicate things. Just make sure that the goals you're choosing use different primary muscles so they don't collide with each other. If you really have to choose more than one goal from each category, I would like you to at least make one of them horizontal and the other vertical. Now, when it comes to very popular straight arm skills, I wouldn't combine things like iron cross with planche or Maltese, as it's gonna be very hard recovery-wise due to enormous pressure they put on elbows. So we're gonna stop for a second on that beautiful planche of mine, cause now as I edit this video I feel like this was a bit too strong of a statement. You see, I never trained iron cross seriously in my life, so it comes rather from my general understanding of the demands these movements put on our body. I contacted my friend David, who is a gymnast, and he kind of agreed with me, so at least when it comes to beginners, I'm still gonna say start with basics, you know, skin the cats, ring supports, and don't necessarily go seriously for skills like iron cross, back levers or planches at the the same time just yet, as it might be just unsustainable in the long run. However, what I definitely don't want to say is not to set those goals for yourselves yet, even if you're a beginner, as there is always the way to work on the skill and the whole prerequisite thing goes too far in my opinion. Sorry for that interruption, let's come back to the video. Now, when you know what are the main objectives, it's time to get a bit deeper. Now you have to figure out things like time hold, weight, reps, or circumstances. And the more specific you can get with defining the goal, the better. A badly formulated goal would be, for instance, straddle planche, and its better version is gonna be 5 seconds straddle planche hold on the floor, straight arms, no hip pike. Those small technique cues help you keep that in mind when you're training and allow for a faster correction if certain mistakes appears. When you finally have your goals ready, the first step is done. What is waiting for you is gonna be discussed very soon on the episode 2. For now, thank you for watching. This was Things Movement TV. Talk to you next time.